All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm Derek, and we are back. So I've been away for a number of days because I had a terrible leak in my ceiling, and it took my apartment complex a little while to get over here and fix the thing. So yeah, I had my room torn apart, and there wasn't really any other place to stick my whole setup, and I didn't really want to move everything anyway. But regardless, we're back now. Everything's cool, and we're gonna play my favorite deck from the Pro Tour. Izzet Spellementals. So this deck, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Yep, this is a deck for me. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I like to do. If there's cantrips and a very set number of creatures, it is absolutely my kind of deck." So basically, these three elementals is the whole entire deck for the most part. You've got Hearth Elemental, which is kind of an old one. We haven't seen this for a while. It's a Wilds of Eldraine. This is a 6 mana 4/5. Spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant, sorceries, and or have an adventure. It does have Stoke Genius for 2 mana. You can draw 2 cards, but you have to discard your hand to do so, so you're not really going to do that unless this is the last card in your hand. Similarly, we have Eddymerk Crab, which is kind of a better version of Hearth Elemental. Flash, 7 mana, 5/5. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, and it enters tapped if it's not your turn. But having Flash is huge. When this creature enters, tap up to 2 target creatures. So you can't use it as like a flash blocker. But that's okay. You just tap down whatever they were going to attack with, and there you go. Then you're left with a 5/5 body on the field to attack them with. The most important card in the deck is the new one, Sunderflock. This is a 9 mana elemental 5/5. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals you control. It has flying, and when this creature enters, if you cast it, return all non-elemental creatures to their owner's hands. So I've played this card in a previous deck, but I do think that I like it better in this shell. So your only creatures are 4 copies of each of these 3 elementals. The rest of the deck is removal, cantrips, and card draw, because all you want to do is cycle through your deck, find these, get as many instants and sorceries into your graveyard as you can, cast them for as cheap as possible, and then hit them with Sunderflock and attack in for lethal if you can. We've got 1 copy of Bounce Off, 1 copy of Into the Floodmaw. Just a little bit of different utility. Bounce Off can hit your own stuff, Floodmaw cannot, but Floodmaw can hit non-land permanents on the opponent's side. 4 Opt is a must, 4 Sleight of Hand is a must. These spots here, these 2 I think are a little bit flexible, and I'll probably end up getting rid of one of the main deck spell snares, I think, once I start shifting the deck around just a smidge to try to tune it a little. Spell Snare is great. There's a lot of 2-drops that are awesome, but I think 3 main deck may be a little bit too much. 1 Spell Pierce I do like. 4 Burst Lightning. It's just the best 1 mana removal unless you're playing Lessons. We've got 2 Spider Sense / Detect Intrusion, 2 Abandoned Attachments, 2 Glacial Dragon Hunt, which is a card I haven't really seen very much of. Draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to target creature. We've got 4 Winter Night Stories, and obviously all the rare lands. 6 islands. So, one thing I was talking with a buddy of mine about, this deck could probably use maybe like 1 or 2 more ways to put a Sunderflock in the yard at instant speed when you're against the Reanimator deck. Because if they go to cast their Superior Spider-Man and hit Bringer of the Last Gift, if you can put a Sunderflock into the graveyard at instant speed, as soon as the trigger resolves for the Bringer, it brings back the Sunderflock and bounces their whole board back to their hand again. Didn't even consider that was a possibility, but it sounds like a nightmare for the Reanimator decks. So in the sideboard, there is 1 Broadside Barrage, but after talking with Corey, I think I think you probably want to add at least 1 or 2 more ways to discard at instant speed. There's the new Thirst card, which would also be an option. If you want to look at the sideboard, we've got 2 Annul, 2 Lantern, 2 Balion the Parch, which happens to be an elemental. Did not realize that he was. 1 Get Out, 1 Negate, 1 Abrade, 3 Pyroclasm for the Badger Mole lists, and then we've got a Lynx and a Row. So yeah, that's the deck. Looks like a fun one to me, so let's hop in and see what happens. Okay, on the play. Couple of Sleight of Hand, Spell Snare, Winter Night, and a Crab. Yep. This is a good one. Also 2 of our fast lands. Opponent's on a mulligan. Let's start it off with a Sleight. I'm just going to take land here. Turn 2 could potentially be really good if we can Sleight of Hand and hit something with a Spell Snare as well. Kind of depends on what we're playing against. Okay, well, we might hit really well. Sleight first. Yeah, I'll take the removal spell. Hopefully they don't play a 3-drop. Would much rather see them try the Badger Mole here. There's a Zaz Chocobo, so... Okay, well, it's landfall. Okay, there it is. The 3rd Canal, nice. So I can either go ahead and take out the Zaz Chocobo, or I can just cast Winter Night. I'll just go ahead and deal with this. I don't think Detect Intrusion is going to be all that important. And that puts our Eddie Merc Crab down to 2 mana. And as soon as we get the Eddie Merc down, Thunderflock is going to be very cheap. Right on. Yeah, let's just hold up the crab. Hold up the crab. We've also got abandoned attachments. Probably not the worst thing in the world to discard Winter Night Stories, right? Certainly not going to discard Thunderflock. Sure. That's pretty good. Let's see if they cast it or if they just warp it. Just realized they don't have any blue mana. Did they forget to put islands in their deck? Kinda curious what's going on here. Comes in tapped, right? Oh, I can tap creatures with it as well. It's been a couple days since I've played Arena. Dealing with this crisis at home. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast the attachments and discard the Winter Night. Nice. They didn't want to see it. Definitely just bringing the 3 pyroclasms here, I think. Their deck is all creatures. So I'll bring in Get Out, and I think, yeah, the Pierce can go. Detect Intrusion can go. I mean, against Badger Mole Cub, Spell Snare is awesome, but I think I'd rather just cut one of those. Cut one of the Dragon Hunts. Against Ouroboroi, I'd rather have instant speed removal. Pyroclasm, Hearth Elemental, Spell Snare. Yeah, I'll try this. We just play a... Whatever. I'll just go ahead and play the Steam Vents untapped on one. It's nice to have access to both colors as quickly as you can. I know I've got Pyroclasm in hand, but I don't want my Spell Snare to sit in my hand. Braid is good. This seems like a really good matchup for this deck. Okay, there's Ice Till. Let's take another. Take a Winter Night. Badgermon. A lot of 4 toughness in this deck. They're playing lands, but not really getting any triggers. It's about all we could ask for. There goes a Might Form. And a Hunter's Talent. Sure. So... I think I'm just gonna do this. And that will put our Eddie Mark Crabs down to 2 and Hearth Elemental to 1. There's Ice Till. You know, Ice Till's great, but anytime I can see this come down when there's no triggers to be had, happy. I think I'll just play you first. And hit him with the flock, you know? We've got Bounce Off, we've got 2 Eddie Merc Crabs, so we should be able to not win next turn, but the turn after, I think, depending on what they're able to put together. Harmonize was great, but these crabs can tap stuff. Tap 2 target creatures. That's so sick. What an absolutely awesome deck. Sunderflock just making strategies that weren't really there pop out of nowhere. Eh. Gaining a lot of life here. Got a Land War Elves. Cool. Let's just attack for 5 in the air. Play sleight of hand, look for a land. You good? What's up with you? Phew, we did not hit land. I'm looking again. Well, fine. I guess we'll just cast one Eddie Merc Crab. That was incredibly unlucky there. Like, really, really unlucky. Another Land War Elves? So if we can find another Sunderflock, it's going to be really, really good. We got Curator. As soon as they move to attacks, we will tap both the Ice Till and the Esper Madwin. They're just gonna triggerty me. Mm-hmm. Yep. Only one Harmonizer in the yard. Okay. Well, it looks like almost their whole entire hand there. Yeah, we got a Verge. There it is. Yeah, we can discard that one. Yeah, I mean, I think there's no reason not to just go ahead and cast it, right? We got a Tie Binder? Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, don't think we're quite dead unless they have Harmonizer. Okay, fair enough. That was a really, really good Detect Intrusion there. On the play, I'm just gonna bring in a couple more threats. Get rid of a couple of these spell snares. Flood Maw, get out. I don't think I can keep this. No. Okay, that's much, much better. Put back the multiversal passage. Excuse me, sir. That's not what I grabbed. I'm just gonna grab another crab here. I'll go ahead and pay the 2 life. Keep up the burst lightning. Go ahead and get that out of here. Soul God Lantern, I'm probably happier seeing here than like Ghost Vacuum, because they can only pop at one time. Yeah, I'll discard one of the crabs here, I think. They're gonna go ahead and pop it. Okay, great. That is totally fine. Couple removal spells. Need to draw some of our exactly this. Exactly what we want to see here. Couple more of those. No, thank you. Okay. Probably discard. Okay, well, I'm gonna discard the burst lightning. Just 'cause I really want to get one of these 2 down and have the Sunderflock ready. That's a little annoying. They got 2 of them? Okay. I mean, it's not that bad. We've still got access to our cheap stuff here. So let's just, I think we'll just get down a couple of Hearth Elementals. Sunderflock does not bounce, but it's still a very cheap 5/5 flyer, right? Now their Badger Moles don't really do anything, at least. Yeah. We'll just attack here. And probably just play... Just gonna do this. Just get stuff out and onto the battlefield, right? Even if they have Harmonizer, they don't have a way to kill us this turn. Gain a little life. Gain a little more life. I mean, they have to block, right? Down to 1. Is there any reason... Yeah, we'll just play it as a blocker. And we can flash in the Eddie Merc Crab if we need to. But I think we got this one. So they could have potentially the Harmonizer mana here, but not gonna be enough to hit me for lethal. And they don't have it. Good game. Two Spell Snare and a Burst Lightning. Yeah, this might not be great, but I'm gonna try it. Canal on 1. Feels good. Yeah, absolutely. That is very nice. Ooh. Canal on 2. We're doing it now, boys. Need some sleight of hands and some ops here. Yep. This is the prowess list. Go ahead and get that out of here. Wow. Just draw 3 canals in a row. If they give me a target, we can play the crabs next turn. And they do. Very nice. Very, very nice. Still want to draw some cantrips here. That'll do. So we can play Burst Lightning if we need to and still cast an Eddie Merc Crab. Playing counterspells? If they are, they're being very disciplined with it. Let me draw some gas here. Oh yeah. Very nice. Attack first. In for 5. Sleight of hand. Yeah, bounce off's fine. Play Steam Vents tapped and we will pass. This one's looking pretty good. Looks like opponent has something? Maybe it's a Burst Lightning of their own? Casual 2-mana 5/5 flash tap stuff. What a dope uncommon, right? Are we gonna get them here? Oh, this is gonna be so nice. Just one reason to play Bounce Off over the other one. I always want to call the other one Fading Hope, but that's an older card. Into the Flood Maw is what I'm looking for here. You know I get to tap that, right? This is gross. This is absolutely gross. Okay, against Prowess Pile, we'll bring in Pyroclasms. They do have a decent amount of targets here for Spell Snare, but I don't know if I want to keep all 3 of them. Maybe just keep 1. I think Detect Intrusion's kind of whatever. Hit him with an Abrade. Yeah, this is good. I'll be sad when the rest of the fast lands rotate. Iron Claw, I'm fine to just get rid of immediately because it's got too much ping damage potential if they play them in doubles. There's a Lantern. Against this deck in particular, I think Ghost Vacuum feels a little bit worse. You know, the Lantern, they can only pop 1 time. And then we can kind of rebuild. Let's go ahead and hit Winter Night Stories. Maybe we can push them to go ahead and... You know what? I'm just gonna discard Spell Snare and land, and we can just look for another land. There's a Roku, okay. A dragon. Look for land. Did not hit land. Look again. That is not it. Oh boy. Well. That's not good. They have not used the Soul Guide Lantern yet, so we could potentially get a crab out here if they're not careful. Just Burst Lightning Face, you got it. There we go, okay. So they're cracking it now. Guess we can opt first. I don't really want a tap land, I don't think. And Winter Night Stories. Decline. Discard. Dragon Hunt and Pyroclasm. Okay. Now we're getting there. It's going to be a close one. We really want to be able to get down the Eddie Merc Crab and start casting Sunderflocks here. Lynx deals 3. And Magebane Lizard. Which is non-creature? Yeah, sure. So once we get Eddie Merc Crab down, we can cast Sunderflock for 2 mana. So if we can hit a land with the Opt, I think we're going to be okay here. Although the Sunspine Lynx triggering over and over again is not good, and also Hellkite is instant speed. But I gotta try anyway. Come on, land. No! Oh no! No! Okay, well... We've got a blocker, and we've got a crab we can cast here. We can tap the Nova and the Sunspine Lynx. No, I think I'll tap the Avatar. Roku, actually. And I'm happy to trade with the links because we're about to start bouncing stuff. Yep, that is fine by me. Oh, we got another one. And there's a needlehead, so we go to 1 here, right? Is there any way out of this? I don't think so. Let's think. Well, if I want to do anything, I've got to bounce their board. Ooh, it doesn't bounce it. That is actually great. Okay. So can we get... The needlehead is what's going to get us, isn't it? So we can block this. If they... Yeah, they cast the Mage Bane first. Oh. Okay. Good play, opponent. Yep. Alright. Well. Pyroclasm was shit that game. I think I'm fine playing a copy of Annul. Actually, 2 Annuls is good. They've got Soul Guide Lantern and they've got the Roku. So let's do that. Dragon Hunt. I'm going to cut both of those and bring in a Broadside Barrage. Probably get out over Spell Snare. I don't know if Pierce is really worth it. I mean, I'll bring in Negate. They've got plenty of non-creatures, right? On the play. Steam Vents opt. Yes. Yes, please. Baleon the Parched on turn 2 is actually pretty good. In some matchups, the pseudo prowess here has been pretty nice. Hopefully they're not playing Spell Snare. You gonna cast a spell or not, Bubba? No? Okay. Well, then I will. I think I would hold on to that, no? I love this card. Such a cool design. I think I want land. Yeah, there we go. And we'll still have access to negate here. 3 Sunderflocks and no other elementals is pretty rough. Okay, so we've got the Eddie Merc Crab here. I think we might be okay. Yeah, that's fine. Tap these two boys. And now we've got Sunderflocks. Just don't kill my crab, bro. That's fine. That is fine. So Baleon is going to grow here. Attack both. Have access to negate. I think we're looking pretty good here. Not that worried about Sunspine Links. Let's see. I'm just gonna cast another one here. And another. And then we can attack with all these. Pretty cool and relevant that the Scalding Viper is an elemental snake. Just don't have the Aether Eyes. Not quite. That was close. That was really close. Okay, yep, that's a fine hand. Playing against Fudge a Duck. Sweet. Yeah, there goes Sunderflock. Deceit. Oh, God, dude. A non-land card. Okay, fine. If you want to discard an opt, you go right ahead. Hopefully I don't get punished and draw another canal. But seems like a good opportunity to play a tap land. Discard Burst Lightning and Stories. Now we've got a 1-mana elemental. We do not have a 1-mana elemental. In fact. Opponent's mana screwed and still kind of doing me wrong. Keep discarding all my good stuff, man. Okay, well, you know. There goes stock up. Okay, well. I think that's a good enough target there. Okay, well, we've got another spider sense here. Yeah. Gonna be bounced anyway, right? Well, now we got two of them. We've got kicked burst lightning available. If they play land, they do have excruciator mana. Well, they really want in my hand, don't they? Just go ahead and do it now. I don't really care about either of these cards, you know. And hopefully we draw into something good. There's a lot of evoking that they've done here. Avarice. So they're gonna go get the big boy. So if they go get Excruciator... Oh! Yeah, sure. They just went and got a board wipe. Stories. Cast it again. I'm just gonna discard both of the spell snares here. We're only one land away from being able to just hard cast the Sunderflock for full price. They are down to 12, so sleight of hand. Okay, crab is good. Another crab is great. Okay, let's see if we can kind of cheese them out here. Okay, so there's the Excruciator. I think we can get him here, right? We cast both crabs, attack in, and then hit him with burst lightning. There we go. Shoo! Against Excruciator, I'm just gonna bring in some more threats. I think Soul Guide Lantern is worth it when they've got superior Spider-Mans. No. Negate's probably good. Definitely can get rid of Spell Snare. Probably Dragon Hunt as well. I mean, most of the stuff that they're doing to discard my cards are creatures, but they do have tactics and whatnot, so I think it's okay to leave in Spell Pierce here. Need to cut one. I'll cut a bounce off. Oh yeah. That's pretty good. Oh. That is... and then we draw the creature. Yeah, that's pretty good. Go ahead and cast Sleight of Hand. Get another one. Could have got land, but I think with this many cantrips in hand, plus abandoned attachments, we should be able to hit land drops pretty easily. Pierce. Urge. I think this is a pretty good hand here. I think with a 2-mana counterspell, I probably wouldn't cast this here, but since it's Spell Pierce, I think I'm fine with that. It also gets another spell into the yard. Okay, I'll definitely take Get Out here. We can counter a Excruciator if we need to. I can wait another turn. I'd much rather cast this for 1 mana. Yeah, you can have stock up. I think I can cast attachments and discard the intrusion probably. And that puts us on 1 mana Hearth Elemental. Yeah, it's tapped, but that's fine. I think I'd rather cast a crab. Lots of card draw. Alright. I'll just let you choose. I think that's fine. What they take can tell me a lot about what their hand's probably looking like. Okay. So if they're taking a creature, then they probably don't have a board wipe, you would think. Maybe they're trying to play me. Either way, I don't want to cast all of my creatures here. Or maybe they just wanted to get the flash creature out of my hand. That's entirely possible too. So they don't get cheesed out. Just gonna hold this for 4 damage to face. Ugh. Fine. You're casting another one of those. I would rather keep my creature. Honestly, we're almost at the point where casting this as a sorcery would be okay. Okay, let's see if they've got a board wipe. Okay, Riddler is totally fine. Looks like they were missing the land they need. Probably to cast the Excruciator, I would imagine. Okay, we got him. So we're back, and I gotta say, I love this deck. I love this deck so much that I'm going to put it together in paper, and I'm gonna play it at my local shop. I've been playing green Badger Mole decks for a little while. You know, went from Simic to Gruul, and I gotta tell you, I'm just kind of sick of playing green, at least at in-person Magic, and just for Badger Mole, we'll build this whole entire deck in paper with money to spare. So yeah, I'm going to put this one together and try to jam some elementals for a little while, because I think this deck is awesome. And in my spare time, I'm probably going to jam this bad boy in Best of 1 to rank up a little bit as well. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to catch you for the next one. Peace.